So I heard a lot of not so good things about this King Gomah S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball Daima figure by S.H.Figuarts. And I haven't gotten around to opening him, as you can see. I'm a little late to the party on this one, but that changes today. We're going to check it out. We're going to see why so many people dislike this figure. I think a lot of it has to do with the price because he was like in the $80+ range, and that's never great. He does seem like he does come with quite a bit of accessories, so that's always good to see. And I see that that has been a trend with a lot of these Daima figures, that they are small and mini sized, but they are coming with, a good amount of accessories, which is always great to see. He does come with DLC for our mini Goku Daima, like that's been the trend with all these Daima releases, and that's going to continue. So the only problem this figure has is the price tag. He was priced at $75 plus shipping, of course, and tax and all that. You'll see him for like 80, 90, and that's just very, very steep for a figure this size. I think they tried their best to make it worth it, including the DLC extra parts for our Daima Mini Goku, which has some of the best accessories I've seen for, I guess, any figure for that matter. He's got his power pole, and there's 3 different accessories for that power pole, showing off different effects here, like a spinning effect and a actual swinging effect where you're about to hit somebody. And then we also do get a super extended power pole here. It's a lot more extended than the one we got with the actual mini Daima Goku. He also does come with one right hand with a peg there, so you can attach the spinning power pole effect to it. So as we saw, our King Gomah comes packed in with a regular face where he's just kind of smiling a little bit. It's not exactly good intentions there, right? He's an evil villain, and he looks like he's got something up his sleeve here. Now he does have his right hand, which has his pimp cane accessory that is actually molded on to the hand itself. You can't remove that, but you can remove the hand, of course, obviously. And then his other hand is the fist there. So upon further inspection, the right hand that is attached to the pimp stick here is actually not sculpted. It looks like it's so flush sitting there that it looks sculpted, but no, you can actually remove it and switch it to the other hand if you wish instead. It's just done so good that it looked like it was sculpted and it wasn't removable, but it is, so that's good to see. The cape is going to be a hard plastic but pliable neck area on that hood, so you can move his head around, but the actual cape itself is going to be a hard plastic. Now there are 3 additional faceplates to the 2 we just showed here. So here we have the 3, very expressive, very animated, and they all look fantastic if you ask me. Now we do get an entirely separate head sculpt. This is just specifically for his yelling face. As you can see here, it stretches out the face. So his additional yelling faces also will go on this head sculpt here. You'll see that the little hairline, if you want to call it that, is going to be different depending on the facial expression. So that is why we get separate head sculpts for these different faceplates. So we also will get, of course, our typical array of hands here. We have 2 open hands that are slightly posed a little differently from each other. We have our other fist and our other gripping hand, as well as some open hands with with all the fingers kind of just together there, so it's almost like a karate chop hand. And then crossed arms, which is always welcomed in my book. So very cool. I appreciate these accessories for what they are. Now, if you ask me, I believe that Tamashii continues to impress when it comes to these smaller mini bodies in terms of what they can do in articulation and just overall mobility. The head is actually able to move up and down quite a bit for how chunky he is as well. You see how chunky his torso is, and then left and right all the way you need. And there is some slight head tilting there. The neck is actually separately articulated, which is cool to see. The arms are going to move all the way up as far as his head, his wide head allows him to. Now he does get shoulder hinges, so he'll be able to spread his arms all the way up, which is pretty cool. There are bicep swivels there, and there is a slight like butterfly joint as well in the shoulder, so that actually allows him to, he could even clap his hands, which is pretty impressive. They extend out quite a bit, and you can touch both hands together. His elbow joints, they're so little, they made them into single joints, but they are able to bend at a 90-degree angle. So that's good to see. You can also hyperextend his joints too if you really want to, as you see there. They do swivel at the elbow. We do actually get a hinge and a ball joint at the wrist, which is pretty cool to see considering that the Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima didn't have that. He just had ball joints and he's a bigger figure. So that's interesting. There is no torso articulation. I believe they just opted out with that because there's no need for it and it would break the sculpt and the look and the design. That's my guess. I guess that is sacrificing a bit because that is pretty much a standard when it comes to S.H.Figuarts nowadays. But when it comes to this form of Gomah, he doesn't really do much. He doesn't really fight in this form anyways. He just commands his henchmen around. So it's not until he transforms where he actually becomes a fighter himself. The legs, as you see, they're not on your typical groin or leg joints. He's not your typical S.H.Figuarts, but he is able to kick forward and press it. I mean, that's pretty impressive if you ask me. I don't know how they get this done, but they did. Check that out. It goes down, it goes left and right about this far. There is a thigh swivel, single jointed knees here, and they do hit 90 degrees. They do swivel at the knee, and ankles are gonna go forward. They pivot and swivel. There is a hinge at that little foot too. So overall, they're really good when it comes to articulation on little small body molds nowadays. And I don't know what else they could do to this to make it more articulated than what it is for his actual body type and what he does. I mean, this is pretty good if you ask me. I'm pretty happy with the articulation on this guy. It's also worth noting that the cape on his back is articulated. There is a hinge there, so you could have it blowing in the wind if you'd like. Looks pretty good. Or just get it out of the way if you want him into some dynamic posing. But I do like that the piece on the shoulder is a separate piece, so that way it does not get in the way of hindering his arm articulation. As we saw, he can fully extend his arms, no problem. So King Gomah, in comparison here, we have the Super Saiyan 4 Daima Mini Goku. And Goku does stand taller, as you see, so this gives you an idea of scale in case you have this Goku, which I'm sure most people, if they got anything Daima related, they probably got Super Saiyan 4 Goku. King Gomah does stand slightly shorter, and I think that's a pretty good scale, if you ask me. Now next to Kid Daima Goku here, and they look great. Kid Goku is still smaller than King Gomah. So, like I said, I think they got the scaling very, very well executed. Compared to where they came from, man, Bandai Tamashii, starting off with Dragon Ball releases a while ago, the scaling was all over the place with those, and now they're just perfecting the scale, just getting better and better. So it's always good to see. I might have to pick up another one of these Kid Daima Gokus because of so much. There's so much DLC parts coming out for it that I want to pose them in different variations, right? Because I love this power pole with the power pole holder on his back look. But there's so many other options too to play around with, so it's almost hard to pick which one you want to display him in sometimes. Now we have Daima Vegeta, or Daima Mini Vegeta. Gotta emphasize Mini because they are adults in that show as well, and they've released both versions. So again, going back to the scale being pretty accurate and just well executed. Next to Piccolo. Piccolo is obviously the tallest one of the mini bunch. So he continues to be so, even taller than Super Saiyan 4 Goku was. So here he is next to Gomah, and of course he is standing taller than King Gomah. And I always like showing this angle here because it just shows how actually small the figures are next to a regular size fully grown Vegeta here from Dragon Ball Daima. So here's my hot take on this one. I like this figure. I actually think it's one of their more fun Dragon Ball Daima releases. I really am enjoying this figure more than I thought I would. This is just a clear example of don't listen to what other people have to say sometimes, especially the casuals or the haters that just hate on everything because the figure is nice. The only thing that is keeping this from being a very great release is, of course, the price. And I think ultimately that's why it's getting hate is the price of the figure. It's hard to justify $80 on a figure this size on a character that isn't really loved. You know, it's not iconic. It's not. He's a brand new character that barely anybody even knows who he is, to be honest with you. So I get it. I get it. But if you're a fan of the show and you're a fan of Dragon Ball Daima specifically, this figure is great. It's awesome. As a matter of fact, it makes me want to rewatch Dragon Ball Daima. How about that? Yeah. So it's fun what they did with the faces and accessories here for Daima Mini Goku as well. It's just if this was a $40 release, it'd be a lot more respectable and understandable. So I get it at the same time. So with that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.